It was just a prank, my sister said, crying in the hallway like the fluorescent lights owed her sympathy. I swapped her pills for vitamins. Chill. The attending physician looked at her, then at me, then at the clipboard with the word breakthrough written in a neat, tired hand. Your blood level is non-therapeutic, he said. That's why you seized, my parents said. She didn't mean it. Forgive her. I didn't yell. I asked for copies of everything, texted myself the camera clip, and filed a report. Because sometimes the only apology that matters is the one your blood already wrote. I'm Maya Hart, 29, middle school science teacher in Denver. I can take a field of 7th graders through a frog dissection and bring them back with all fingers. Accounted for. I can also recite the side effects of levetiracetam, Keppra, without looking. Dizziness, mood changes, and if you miss enough doses, seizures. I was diagnosed with focal epilepsy at 22. It's managed. My 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. pill routine is as baked into my life as brushing my teeth. I carry an emergency alert card in my wallet, and I add a line to every school field trip plan. If teacher seizes, call 911. Do not restrain. Move kids out of the way. My family, Dad Steve, is a contractor who can fix drywall and eye contact. Mom, Renee, is the captain of a church women's group and the kind of person who narrates feelings for other people and then gets mad when they don't match. My sister Bree is 24 and allergic to boredom. She runs a small TikTok account that she calls content. She likes pranks, jump scares, fake bugs, food dye and milk, the usual. I tolerate the fake roaches. I do not tolerate people touching my medication. 3 months before Christmas, I started noticing things in my apartment just changed. The yellow Post-it I keep under my pill organizer to remind me if I already took the morning dose was shifted. The cap on the white bottle felt gritty, like someone had powdered sugar on their hands. One night I found the organizer sitting 1 row over from where I always put it and retraced my steps like a person who lost their mind in a parking lot. Paranoid. I told myself out loud and laughed because sometimes humor is cheaper than anxiety. Then, because I am not only anxious, I am also thorough. I bought a $22 battery-powered motion camera and stuck it on my bookshelf, facing the narrow hallway that leads to my bedroom. I wasn't trying to catch anyone. I was trying to catch myself sleepwalking or inventing ghosts that my parents invited us all to pre-Christmas at their house the weekend before the actual holiday, because my mom likes 2 parties where one would do. I packed a small duffel, my pill organizer, and my camera tucked in the side pocket because you can take a teacher out of her classroom, but not away from her color-coded systems dot at their house. Bree was in full host mode, charcuterie. Bored placements like she was working a wedding venue. She kept filming little segments, holiday hacks. Tell me your Christmas trauma in 1 word. I told her to please not post videos of me to strangers. She rolled her eyes. No one cares, Maya, she said. It's just content. The first night, after everyone went to bed, I put my pill organizer on the dresser in my childhood room and the bottle in the drawer. I brushed my teeth and, out of habit, clicked my little motion camera on and set it on the bookshelf facing the door, more for my peace than anything else. I slept. The seizure happened the next afternoon at Trader Joe's. I remember citrus and holiday music and a woman in a red sweater asking if I'd tried the cranberry cheese log. I remember Bree laughing at a display that said Joe's apples in big chalk letters because who's Joe? Then static. Then nothing. I woke up in an ambulance with a paramedic asking me if I knew my name and the month because the universe loves a pop quiz. I answered Maya and December. He smiled. Good, he said. You had what looked like a tonic-clonic seizure in the aisle by the frozen berries. You fell. No head strike. Your sister said you have epilepsy. At the A nurse put a warm blanket around my shoulders, the way only people who work in medicine do. My parents arrived. Mom crying. Dad holding her elbow like he's done since 1995. Bree floated behind them, eyes wide, camera suspiciously absent. The attending asked the usual questions. Have you missed any doses? No, I said. I took them right on time. 8 a.m. yesterday, 8 p.m. last night, 8 a.m. this morning. I paused. It took a second for my brain to connect the dots it had been quietly collecting for months. But, I said, someone's been touching my stuff. He ordered labs. He ordered N4. He ordered rest. I do what doctors say because science gives my head a place to sit down. The blood work took an hour. When it came back, the attending put the printout in my hand. Your levetiracetam level is nearly 0, he said. That's not possible, I said. Unless you haven't been taking it, he said gently, not accusing, just naming. I've been taking it, I said. Then I looked at Bree. Have you been in my room? She blinked. What? No, I texted my neighbor, Kendra, because she has my spare key and an honest face. Can you go to my apartment and take a picture of my nightstand? I wrote, open the drawer and photo my pill bottle too. She sent back and a thumbs up. 15 minutes. Later photos, pill organizer, bottle. The pills in the organizer looked a shade lighter than usual under the lamplight. That meant nothing. That meant everything. I excused myself to the bathroom because it's the only place people will let you read. I opened the motion camera app. A push notification I hadn't seen yet sat at the top of the screen. Motion detected 1210. Untap. Watch. Bree walked into my room. She opened the drawer. She picked up the bottle, dot my stomach, did that elevator drop thing, and then decided not to recover. I walked out of the bathroom, found a nurse, and said, Can I speak to hospital security? She raised an eyebrow concerned but didn't ask for a story. She made the call. When security arrived, I asked Mom and Dad to sit. I asked Bree to sit. Then I said, if you call this a joke, I will throw up on purpose. She laughed in reflex. Maya, God. And then I played the clip. The plan happened all at once, like most plans do after the part where you pretend everything is fine. It involved 4 things I recommend anytime someone tells you their gut isn't kidding. Documents, dates, names, and a timeline. Documents, a report with the word non-therapeutic, the lab printout with the numbers that say you were right, even if you wish you weren't. The hospital security incident number photos from Kendra of my pill organizer and bottle. The motion camera clip with the timestamp dates. Exact times I took my medication the last 3 days. Screenshotted from my med reminder app. The motion. Alert time, 12:10 a.m., the time of the seizure. Trader Joe's says 2:17 p.m. in their incident log. I asked names every nurse and the attending, the security officer, the paramedic's first name and unit number. He wrote it on my card when he left. Timeline and a note on my phone with bullet points because my brain can't hold that many lines without inventing a chorus. Mom cried the whole time. Dad went still the way some men go still before they snap or rebuild a deck. Bree started with blame. Why do you have a camera in your room? And slid around the perimeter of accountability like a kid on socks. It was vitamins, she said. I saw your bottle and was curious, and she stopped. It was a prank. Security called hospital police because medical tampering is not family business. It is a crime. The officer, calm, older, a presence that says, I have, stood in more rooms than the rest of you, took our IDs and my documents and listened. He was good at listening. Then he asked Bree a single question that sliced everything down to the marrow. Did you touch the medication? Yes, she said, voice tiny. What did you do to it? Just swapped them, she said. Like Those TikToks where people prank their roommates with decaf coffee. It's a joke. It's tampering, he said. She started crying like the room owed her a scene. I didn't think she'd have a seizure, she said. She's always so dramatic about her meds. I wanted to teach her not to be psycho. Enough, Dad said, voice breaking. He looked at me. What do you want us to do? I'm going to file a report, I said. I'm going to ask for a protection order. I'm going to ask her not to contact me. And I'm going to tell the truth in whatever room we end up in. Mom opened her mouth. I put up a hand. Don't say forgive, I said. I'm not. God, I'm a person who almost died in the frozen aisle because your younger child thinks. Prank means remove life support. I filed a report. The hospital police forwarded it to Denver PD. A detective called me 2 days later while I was still bargaining with my nerves. We're looking at reckless endangerment and drug tampering, she said. This is serious. I know. I said, do you want to pursue charges? She asked. People like to pretend that pressing charges is a button you push. It's not. It's a line you draw between the life you had and the life you're going to have to pretend is the same. Yes, I said. I want a paper trail. Okay, she said. I'll send a victim advocate to call you about protection orders and services. Do you have the bottle? I did because Kendra had brought it to the hospital at my request. The detective asked me to bag it like a crime show, but kinder. She picked it up herself the next day. The lab later confirmed what we already knew. The tablets in the organizer and in the bottle were not levetiracetam. They were compression mint. Vitamins, cheap kind, white, same diameter, sold in a tub that looks nothing like a pharmacy bottle. Mom called every day for 2 weeks. The first message, she didn't mean it. The second, don't ruin your sister's life. The third, we can deal with this within the family. Dad's messages were shorter. I'm so sorry. I'll pay the hospital bill. I love you. I asked a friend who works in HR for a referral to a victim advocate. I got one. She walked me through the protection order request like I wasn't a child. She also told me to consider counseling, gave me a list of therapists who don't make you do a drama about the word trauma, and told me to apply for Colorado's victim compensation fund because you're allowed to get help paying for the MRI your brain needed because your sister wanted a video. The protection order hearing was a Wednesday in a courtroom that looks like every courtroom in America if you've ever watched a TV show about a courtroom. Wood paneling, chairs that creak, the flag. The judge asked me for the story. I told it without adjectives. I handed her the security report, the lab result summaries, the printed text messages, the letter from my neurologist, and the MedApp screenshots. I didn't tell her my mother called Thanksgiving family only last year and asked me to bring my own Tupperware because she didn't want contamination. Some details are for novels. Some are for judges. Bree stood with a public defender. She cried. I didn't mean it, she said. I am so sorry. I've never hurt her. It was a joke. The judge looked at the paper in front of her and then at the two of us. 2 women who grew up in the same house with the same parents and the same chore chart that said Bree dishes. Mia dust. Intent doesn't outrun risk, she said. Then she granted the protection order. 1 year, no contact, 100 yards. She offered us both the number for the county's counseling service. We took it and did not look at each other. Dad charged Bree with misdemeanor reckless endangerment and misdemeanor interference with medical treatment. It could have been worse. It could have been a felony. It could have been a funeral. Her lawyer negotiated a plea, probation, a class, community service, no contact, no making prank videos about crazy family drama if she violated. The suspended sentence could become real. She said, yes, Your Honor. She didn't look at me then either. People think payoff means your enemy gets punished. It doesn't. It means the truth gets a chair at the table. The truth looked like this. The bill for the A, which Dad insisted on paying. I let him. He needed to do a thing bigger than building a fence. A check from victim compensation for my lost wages and the paramedic bill. I cashed it. It didn't fix anything. It helped. A letter from my principal approving my leave, and a staff room full of pears and bakery cookies, and a card that said, "Your brain is welcome back when it's ready." A text from Kendra, "I changed the locks. Also, I'm watering. Your snake plant, it's weirdly aggressive, like you." A meeting with my neurologist where we adjusted my dose for a month, and she said, "You're allowed to be mad at the right people." In January, Mom tried to drop by my apartment with a pot of soup because that's what women who don't know how to apologize do. They simmer. I didn't buzz her in. I texted, "Order says no contact. I'm not opening the door. You can leave the soup." "Thank you." She did. It was lukewarm by the time I brought it upstairs, which felt like a metaphor so clean I had to laugh to keep from crying. In February, Dad asked if we could meet for coffee. I said yes in a public place because boundaries can be soft and still. Be boundaries. He apologized like a man building a thing he was never taught to build. "I should have told her to stop with the stupid videos years ago," he said. "I'm sorry I asked you to forgive before we fixed anything." "Thank you," I said. 2 words that can carry more weight than some poems. He asked what I needed. I said, "No one tells me to get over it. No one invites me to rooms where she is without asking first. When Mom says family, she means me." He wrote it down like a man taking notes for a bid in March. I testified at a PTA showcase about science literacy at home and told a room full of parents to model reading medicine labels out loud like ingredients in a recipe, because the world is safer when kids see grown-ups treat pills like tools, not toys. 2 parents cried. One hugged me and smelled like laundry detergent and hoped in April. The neurologist lowered me back to my usual dose. I run with friends at a pace that makes conversation possible. We talk about nothing. Sometimes nothing is the best kind of everything. Bree's probation ends next winter. I don't know if I'll talk to her then. My therapist says forgiveness is a door you can open later. It does not have to be a trampoline you throw yourself at while the person who put holes in the floor films you for likes. Mom does better now at using the word we when she means me and your dad and not the entire family minus Maya. She invited me to Easter with, "You can bring someone," or "No one, you're enough." I didn't go. I sent flowers. I ate with friends and my neighbor Kendra and her weirdly aggressive plant. Sometimes, on my drive home from school, I passed the Trader Joe's where the earth fell apart for 30 seconds and then stitched itself back up with a paramedic's voice asking for my name. I go in, I buy cranberries. I stand for 1 second in the frozen aisle and let my heart slow, because the body carries a lot more memories than the brain chooses to sign off on. If you're reading this and your family thinks prank is a word that covers harm, know this: you're allowed to tell the truth while you're still shaking. You are allowed to write down times and ask for names and ask the blood to speak. You're allowed to require safety as a condition of love. The blood did not forgive my sister. It did not condemn her either. It told the truth. The rest of us had to listen. If someone pranks your life, support routine, don't debate, it's not a bit. Document everything: labs, timelines, messages, and video. File the report, ask for a protection order, and let the paper work. Stand where your feelings can't. Forgiveness is optional. Boundaries are not. Note, this is a narrative, not legal or medical advice. If you're in danger, call 911. For legal guidance, consult a licensed attorney in your state.